that even some fake ex-Muslims may not like, because I think since what has happened in Pakistan, genocide against um, Shias and in Bahrain, um, so there's a corner for the Shias. So greetings, this is me, Zahra Jawad, Zahra Berserk now, and showing you how I went berserk, the lies I saw in the Shia. So I'm on multilingual Quran. This is the Shia website. Surah Azab. You see how we were told that these were hypocrites. I have to talk about this. Although there's some energy here, if you've, uh, especially these ex Muslims, when I should not be saying that I'm schizophrenic, but I have to say it. And yes, apostate Aladdin, beware of fake Muslims, and I'm afraid of you too. The Pakistani ex Muslims, I don't know. 33 verse. So, but I had a feeling that you don't like Americans. You think that Americans, how Islamophobia is there and all this, politics comes in. So in one of his interviews with another person, I realized that he doesn't like. He may have that tilt towards anti-American, like why are the Westerners doing this? But I guess he'll say he is a human rights champion, like Haris Sultan. So all these atheist ex-Muslims getting together. I gave it to Abdullah Samir. I don't know if he's going to read my comment or not. Um, he was saying something about this thing, schizophrenics, that Muslims don't go. Muslims do go. In fact, I was surprised how many Muslims go to the doctor, psychiatrist. And I was the one telling someone that you should not give your mother this Sereness and Camadrin. Sereness is not good. There are many side effects. People, I realize that these ex-Muslim atheists, they are very soft for themselves and hard on, they don't welcome anyone. So I'm leaving the Hindu spirituality behind, and I'm working on, I'm not going to leave spirituality because I have done my own thing on that. And I think the atheist ex-Muslims have a cognitive dissonance, thinking that there's no God because, but there's insufficient evidence and all this against, there is not sufficient evidence for the scientists to prove that there is no God. So the atheist ex-Muslim, Pakistani, especially African or wherever they're from, ex-Muslims, they can be very overbearing on people and dismiss like reincarnation, not be open to anything but, closed in their mind about this. Like Haris Sultan, um, Army Nawabi, apostate prophet, all these people, Abdullah Samir. Oh, I have to do this. This very few people will tell you because perhaps now they have a soft corner. The Pakistani Sunni Muslims have realized that their messenger was a pedophilic, you know, because recently, and they want to go into Shia Islam because to leave Islam. Some people also want to go into, but see, as blind as they were in their Sunni Islam, they'll become more blind here. How they've lied, the Shias. So here they say that um, the Prophet is closer to the believers than their own selves, and his wives are their mothers. Here, God is saying, allegedly, like this, if this is from God, the Prophet is closer to the believers than their own selves, and his wives are their mothers. This verse was revealed when some of the prophets, sorry, excuse me, some of the Holy Prophet's companions made excuses to avoid the march. The Holy Prophet ordered to meet the enemy at Tabuk. Oh my goodness. The word Olam refers to Mola. So, what about the wives becoming mothers of the believers? Then they twist and turn it around. So, this, even though blood relations, God in the same surah, God says that Zaid cannot be, your adopted son cannot be your blood. So you can marry his ex wife. But you see, the wives of the Prophet are their mothers, has been mentioned to say you should not marry his widows. That's that's the only reason why, or is there more? There is no significance in it. So, oh my goodness. I don't know how the Shias take this, but when I went, so sorry for this reaction of mine. Uh, there he says you can marry the adopted son's wife. If you want to remain like this, then just don't force your, no, no. The hijab is forced. It's mandatory state, this thing in Iran, state law. Then in Saudi Arabia, and beating and God knows what they do with the zina people. My goodness. And cutting off hands and all this. His wives are their mothers, has been mentioned to say you should not marry his widows after him. And what is the reason? Oh my goodness, not marry his widows after him. So and it has, what, excuse me, my logic just went out the door. Uh, uh, and please don't punish the Hindus. I'm not, there are many ex Muslims against me and I'm against them. I don't believe in their stubbornness. And I don't even believe that they are true ex Muslims. And they group in and, with all this. So, against the. So, anyways, they have the right, I guess, because they've learned from the West freedom of speech. Uh, but is it from the West or should the freedom of speech be there, universally? You can say on justice or discovering. Anyways, justice is blind because we don't know where covert narcissists, covert people, underhanded people. I can't find evidence against them. Um, so my case is gone here because the person who did this to me, I'm struggling, and until then, these ex-Muslims will give it to me, and I'll give it back to them. So Abdullah Samir, if he says schizophrenia, they should. If he mentions schizophrenia, then I'll tell him. I've told him that you are a very stubborn person. You may not have even gone to a mental asylum to understand or wish to understand what this is, the side effects, what they go through. But but you see, everyone for their own selves. Your point is. So, and nowadays a lot on schizophrenia, even ex-Muslims like Abdullah Samir. Oh my God. So how can the Shias? I really can't. What is this? Are jhoote? God, this is outrageous. My father used to say, use your akal, because Allama Rashid Turabi in his majlis said. So this is on the outset, it's gone case, you know. So many people will be against this because they don't like me to say anything against Shias. And most of these ex Muslims, they're saying again. Haris Sultan does say about the beating and all this blood letting out and all this against Shias. Oh my God. So you can't marry. Otherwise, Ummul Momineen does not mean anything other than you cannot marry the Prophet's wives. You see? But Ali ibn Abu Talib, now the Quran first says that they are just after saying the Prophet is closer to the believers than their own selves, and his wives are their mothers. And so now blood relations among each other have closer personal ties. And the reason here Akapuya is saying, so every time I look at it's something, everything surprises, shocks me here. His wives are the mothers, has been mentioned to say you should not marry his widows after him. But you could marry the ex wife of your adopted son. But this prophet. Oh, and let me tell you, I'm not for the uh, not for this kind of American kind of progress where you trample on people and you create all this to, you know, and uh, I'm for universal truth. My search is for uh, to see if there's any spirituality. I cannot rely on scientists because I really, when my mind doesn't work, my mind doesn't work. It's for the intelligent people, maybe, and hardworking. I myself am not a scientist, so I have to start from nothing. And I don't believe that, why I don't believe in it, that scientists cannot provide the proof for something, which I also came close to knowing that there's something called consciousness. Does it come from the mind, or is there something beyond the mind? So I had to look. I will not follow. You see, following scientists is also being a follower. Scientists have given us all this um, technology and proof that galaxies exist. What are they? The stars. What are they? How many light years are they away? And all this. But I really, I'm grateful to their positive contributions, but I cannot totally rely on their evidence on God, whether God exists or not. It is not their, I realize that, just don't have words for it. It is not their field to know. Tools are too, this thing, limited. And to see the mind is limited. You have to see it. So whether, you say India, she said, are you a Hindu? People come and ask me these stupid questions. What are you now? So there's and very few people, if anyone is here, um, and you are, because I'm not I'm notoriously known on with these ex-Muslims. So if you want to go there, you go there. Don't come here, right? Go to the ex-Muslims. They have many followers. Sorry. They have many followers, and very few people will like me. I will give you the truth as it is and as I see it. Perhaps you can also be a discoverer and not a follower. Scientists are good at things which they are good at, but there's a limitation to science. And I think people like atheists, they have a cognitive dissonance. These ex-Muslims, especially, they're coming at our throats. Some of them even dismiss like so harshly, and then they say they want to be champions of human. They're champions of human rights, and it is incumbent. But they like to please their own atheist ex-Muslim. This is what they are about. So the love of the Ahlul Bayt can never coexist with allegiance to the enemies. God. Oh my God. So who started the enmity? Uh, God knows. Maybe uh, Shia ways that this was the best prophet, the true religion, and he got the worst of hypocrites. Or prophet, and do you know how they twist and turn this ayat? God is saying, O prophet, fear Allah and hearken not to the unbelievers and the hypocrites, because they come from that evil progeny. They're taking things from this person's evil progeny, right? So disassociate yourself from the enemies of Prophet Muhammad, Allah's enemies. And how they take this verse is that uh, Allah is addressing the believers through the Prophet. Okay, if He's addressing here the believers through the Prophet, fear Allah and hearken not to the unbelievers and the hypocrites. But we find in Surah Tahrim that Prophet himself has hearkened to the hypocrite wives. Right? This is how they have deceived you. Forget the Sunni Muslims. The Shias, how they have been deceived and how they deceived us. O Prophet, these wives, we are told that Prophet himself knows that Aisha and Hafsa are hypocrites and daughters of hypocrites, infidels. Abu Bakr and Umar bin Khattab, right? O Prophet, why do you prohibit yourself from what Allah has made lawful for you, seeking the approval of your wives? Huh? But the thing for the now, O Prophet, fear Allah and hearken not to the unbelievers and the hypocrites. Verily, Allah is full of knowledge and wisdom. So, multilingual Quran again, just show you the Shia side now. Let me see if there are any comments here. Anyone is after my case. Surah Tahrim. If you find this boring, if you find me boring, please, you can leave me. I cannot make it any entertaining for you. O Prophet, why holdest thou to be forbidden? Preface to this surah refer to and study carefully the commentary of Azab, in which the character pattern of the two wives referred to in this surah, Aisha and Hafsa, has been discussed in the light of the traditions reported by Bukhari and other well-known Muslim scholars. The Holy Prophet, and then these become hypocrite wives. If you don't know, if you're a Sunni, you won't see it. But for the Shias, they see that these wives have become hypocrites through these traditions, Muslim scholarly traditions, Sahih Bukhari and this, right? The Holy Prophet used to drink, but why would you hearken to why would you seek, this whole story doesn't make sense to me. Not just that, it's like the Prophet who is of such, like he's God conscious, he has to um, convey deliver the word of Allah. This is a very mighty word of Allah, right? As we were told, mightiest word of Allah. No change will you find in this. The Holy Prophet used to drink a glass of honey syrup whenever he visited the apartment of Zainab, Aisha, and Hafsa. Zainab. Aisha and Hafsa became resentful, sorry about that, and Aisha devised a plot. Knowing the Holy Prophet's dislike of unpleasant smells, she held her nose when he came to her apartment after drinking a glass of honey syrup prepared by Zainab and accused him of having eaten the produce of a very ill smelling tree. When she accused him of having eaten maghafir, a nauseating herb, the Holy Prophet said he had taken only honey. She said the bees had fed on maghafir. And he then should have said, Aisha, the Lord has informed me that you are lying, right? But that's not how it carries on. It's very shocking that these people who say Ali, Wali Allah, and all this, peak of eloquence. Ali has written this. You know what is peak of eloquence? It is a compiled work by Imam Ali's sayings, letters, and all this compiled, right? This peak of eloquence. There's a whole khutbah of Imam Ali without dots. Imam Ali talks about the creation, tributes to Imam Ali. Here are some foreign. As for this young Ali, one cannot but like him. Brave as a lion, yet with a grace, a truth, and affection worthy of a Christian knighthood. Thomas Carlyle. He united the qualifications of a poet, a soldier, and a saint. His wisdom still breathes in a collection of moral and religious sayings. Yeah, this is surprising. Sir Edward Gibbon. He had contempt of the world, its glory and pomp. He feared God much, gave much alms, was just in all his actions, humble and affable. Dr. Henry Stubble. I really cannot believe this. You see? These are all like Western people saying things about him, praising, tribute to Imam Ali. But I say I don't now take this as a tribute. I mean, I don't. You see, these Westerners, have they gone crazy or what? Well, sorry, they don't exist. They are not no more then. So due respect to them. But if you come here, it's really terrible. It's sick. It's very, very shocking. When she accused him of having eaten maghafir, the Holy Prophet said he had taken only honey. Okay, Aisha, you are lying, right? He didn't say that. She said the bees had fed on maghafir. Now Allah should come, Jibril should come and say, oh Prophet, she's lying. But he didn't say, it's not recorded here. I've read the whole thing. When he visited Hafsa, she also acted just like Aisha, displeased with their obnoxious behavior. This is the Holy Prophet vowed only on this not to eat honey anymore. Vowed not to eat honey. Simple. Angel Jibrail descend, tell him that both of them are lying. Honey cannot smell bad. You know it. And you know these two are hypocrites, wives. That's all it had to be. And then he can say, no, you both of you are lying. I know that this honey doesn't smell bad. Then could there be more? Could the Sunni side be right? Because Prophet Muhammad said about he who takes honey of another woman, right? So this can happen. Actually, it doesn't make sense. The commentary, Shia commentary doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't sound true. Like how can Prophet Muhammad, being so God conscious and aware, even a mother's intuition can, feel like there's a Noha that Bibi Zainab, Fatima Zahra says, Bibi, that ये माँ कहाँ न थी और वो ख्वाब like we believe in these spiritual things and then the khwab that Surah Yusuf. So Prophet Muhammad, maybe the Sunni eminent Muslim scholars are right about this hadith that has come, that you taste the honey of another. You taste the honey. What does this mean? Taste the honey Yani, you know what I mean? The hadith says Prophet Muhammad was on his way after choosing a spot. He said, "Eat whatever." Not this one. You know that terrible. Like if you've tasted honey of your partner, marriage partner, taste the honey of your wife. Oh my God! So he was. There's this hadith I can't find here. Very terrible. Sexual intercourse. It means. During the time of Said's women complained that her husband did not satisfy her and he was impotent. That the Prophet smiled upon hearing the woman's complaint. Smiled. Oh my goodness. And then clarified that a thrice divorced woman is not able to remarry her former husband unless she has legally married another man and had sexual intercourse with him. And where's that hadith? Then she took a smell, sorry, a small string of a garment to resemble how small. Oops, this is terrible. Uh, uh, honey mentioned in the hadith by Prophet means sexual intercourse. Imam Ahmad and An-Nasai reported that Aisha said that Allah's Messenger said, Usayla, honey is sexual intercourse. Imam Malik Muwatta, Book of Marriage. Yahya related to me from Malik, from Al Miswar. That's why I couldn't say that, Aisha, I know you are lying. So the commentary fails in Shia side, but I have to take the Sunni side, eminent Sunni religious scholar. The earliest sources, you know, Nisai, An-Nisai, Imam Ahmad, earliest sources from the Shia side. Oh, sorry, from the Sunni, Umayyad side. So that's why in Surah Tahrim, we're not told that he said, "Oh, Aisha, you are lying. I know that honey does not smell bad." And then that would have been it. He did not have to take an oath, right? And even if, let's say, the Shias are right that it was honey, he just had to say that you are lying. The all knowing God has told me right now, brought the revelation, sent down the revelation. He did not have to take an oath. So here, one side against Aisha, he took an oath on this honey thing. And for Hafsa, Maria the Coptic, that I can understand. Oh, yeah, he has to take an oath. Um, because he slept on the bed of Hafsa and she became panic struck. She freaked out. Usayla honey is sexual intercourse. Imam Malik Mawata, Book of Marriage. Yahya related to me from Malik from Al Miswar. I believe in this. What Prophet Muhammad, yeah. So I had to go through, seep through Sunni hadiths, and here this hadith is right. Zubair ibn Abdurrahman ibn Zubair, that Rifa ibn Simwal divorced his wife Tamimi bint Wahab in the time of Messenger of Allah, and um, three times. Then she married Abdurrahman ibn Zubair, and he turned from her and could not consummate the marriage. So he parted from her. Rifa wanted to marry her again, and it was mentioned to the Messenger of Allah, and he forbade him to marry her. He said, "She is not halal, permissible for you, until she has tasted the honey, i.e., sweetness of intercourse." Oh my goodness. Yeah, so this now is coming from this messenger. Narrated Aisha, Book of Divorce, Bukhari. Is, don't tell me again here the same hadith, in other words, but narrated by Aisha, Bukhari, Hadith 5260. The wife of Rifa al Qurayzi came to Allah's Messenger and said, "O Allah's Messenger, Rifa divorced me irrevocably. After him, I married Abdurrahman bin Az-Zubair al-Qurazi, who proved to be impotent." Allah's Messenger said to her, "Perhaps you want to return to Rifa." "Nay, you cannot return to Rifa until you and Abdurrahman consummate your marriage." Okay, so honey is not mentioned in this. Bukhari, Book of Witnesses, Hadith 2639, narrated Aisha. The wife of Rifa al Quraza came to the Prophet and said, "I was Rifa's wife, but he divorced me." Where's the honey thing? Is revealing frankly from the Prophet. He said, "Oh, do you hear what this woman is revealing frankly?" No, why are you telling Abu Bakr? Oh my, what kind of a prophet is he? So the only place, no, the only place, let me just check this hadith. Impossible unless Abdurrahman consummate his marriage with you. So you have to taste the honey that's in the earliest sources. Huh? Don't tell me. It's only about enjoying sexual relation. And another thing I want to mention is I've seen like some foreign names coming and putting in like prostitutes. So I just gave it to this person this time. On every, they come and they put these comments. So I said, "You Pakistani, stop it. Stop giving a bad name to Westerners." Right? This time, if you Pakistani come with a Western name and you put your ads here and your illicit things here about brunettes and all this, if I get you, you cowards, Pakistani Muslims, Kashmiri Muslims, cowards, if come here, you cowards, now come. Put your ad here, illicit, pornographic, right? Come here, you bastards, Pakistani. Not once did I, any Britisher ever. European, I've been with Europeans. They know their limit. I know you are using foreigners' names. So I've reported your, but still you keep coming with different names. You keep changing your name to a foreign name. But let me tell you, whatever you, and it's never ever been in when I was in London living, that a man come and say, that say anything to me like that. Only a Pakistani can. Molesters and whatnot goes on in Pakistan. So, sorry if you cannot read this. This is about consummate his marriage with you. So, for if you, so in Ahmad, the earliest sources are Nisai, even earlier than Bukhari, I think. So perhaps he was tasting Zainab's, you know, thing and smelling bad. So that's why he could not say that, oh no, you're lying, because here it is reported not by Aisha, not in Sahih Bukhari, but the way it is put here is, I just read it, Ahmad, and sexual intercourse, it means. Um, no, until he enjoys her honey, i.e., sexual intercourse and all this. Then she may return to her ex husband after having married another person. And what kind of a moral standard is it? And even now, the Shias practice this. Like, if the Shias get divorced, then if they want to go, if the wife wants to go back to her first husband, she has to marry someone else. Taste his honey. The way, such a vulgar way. So you see, it was your prophet who brought these. Like, that's why we have these Pakistani frustrated Muslims, pedophilics, and all. You see, the, this is what it, this is why. So don't come with. I know who you are. I know you're not European, because Europeans. I was in London. They do their work. They are into themselves. Prostitutes are everywhere around the world. They're even in Dubai. Dubai is a small city, so they're everywhere. So I've never ever had um, any one, any European come and say these, let's go to a prostitute or use me or something like this in London. My father could send me alone to London and live alone there. But he wouldn't, I wouldn't even go to Karachi, live alone there. But if I was brave and if I wanted to be molested and raped, I would go and live alone there. And harassed by people, men, बदनाम नहीं करो यूरोपियंस को या चाइनीज या इंडोनेशियन या उनको बदनाम नहीं करो मलेशियन जो भी एक्सप्लिसिट जो भी ये वेरी वेरी टेरेबल है ये सब आपके प्रॉफिट से आया है very very terrible so where's Surah Tahrim so that's why Prophet Muhammad could not tell Aisha that I have not tasted her honey, right? But taking an oath, he could have simply said, Aisha, you're lying. I have not taken honey that is not smelling good. But you see how the Shias covered it. I don't know how, without, I mean, a judge, uh, any Western European judge, please, can you help me with this? Unless I get them into trouble. The ex Muslims will come after this. Displeased with their obnoxious behavior, the Holy Prophet vowed not to eat honey anymore. Can he go to Zainab bin Josh's house? Like, how stupid can you be? And make us? What are you telling us? This would definitely mean that he would stop going to Zainab bin Josh's place. Why didn't the Holy Prophet say, you are lying, Aisha? Jibrail has come and told me that you are lying about Zainab bin Josh giving me ill smelling honey. So, this, I have to digest this. I mean, am I crazy or eminent religious Shia? You know? So, sorry, who you are here. I'm just in that mood where I think I've gotten so much negativity from the last night also. My I was straining my eyes, like has my mind softer Kashmiri look-alike. Ex-Jew bana diya hai. And all this. So that Kashmiri. Since then, I just have gone off my rockers last night from Gulzar Elias live stream. Ex-Jew. Softer look-alike. Softer Kashmiri. So you want to believe in this? But my mind, if I was a lawyer and I had to deal with a case, it's real life case of a person. I don't want to do injustice because he's a holy prophet, or even if it is a sheikh's case or amir, right? Against the sheikh, prejudiced. I wouldn't want to be prejudiced or biased, but they were here, and I'm showing it to you. If you won't be able to do, you know, justice has lapsed here 1400 years ago. You can't see it. So no one is going to show you this because the Muslims, some of them, they've become ex-Muslims knowing their hadiths, finding out from Sahih Bukhari and all this. These ridiculous hadiths. Maybe that, and maybe they have that now inferred complex, or something has gotten to them, right? I don't know what it is. I can't say. Or maybe they are fake ex-Muslims. But if I have cognitive dissonance, I can't trust them. Not Pakistanis, not the ones on YouTube. You will not be able to do justice for the wives. You may, oh, they were annoying the Prophet. But you see, a wise judge. We say that Imam Ali was such a काफी में वो सुलेमान की तरह Hazrat Suleiman's decisions and all that. Oh my God. So yeah, and Imam Raza had someone had said that your son is not your son. This Muhammad Al Jawad, right? So how he solved the case, we are told. Imam Raza. Someone accused him, said that his this son is not his son, and how he, with wisdom and insight, solved the case. That he is his son. And you see here a lapse of justice. You see that when she accused him of having eaten maghafir, first of all, we are told that honey, even if it's a ill smelling tree or it's bitter herb, honey, the bee sucks from the bitter herb, honey would not be bitter, right? When she accused him of having eaten maghafir, a nauseating herb, the Holy Prophet said that he had taken only honey. She said the bees had fed on maghafir. Now here it's silent. The Shia religious scholars silent on this. Uh, you know what should have come? A wahi should have come. Angel Jibril, if he's not that intuitive enough to know that the wives are lying. So all he had to do was say the Aisha bint Abu Bakr, Aisha, you are lying. And then when he visited Hafsa, she also acted just like Aisha, displeased with their obnoxious behavior. He's displeased. So if you're displeased with someone's obnoxious behavior, you walk away from them for a little while. A normal human being would just take some time, try to sort, I want to just leave them, walk away from them, their obnoxious behavior. He has other wives to go to. Like, let's suppose if my father, you have two wives, you're a man, right? One wife is not well or something, the house disturbance creates disturbance. He goes to the other house, his other wife also is very good, let's say he'll stay there. Or, but if he has a third wife who's nice, go back to Zainab, right? Say, look, your behavior is obnoxious towards me, but vowing not to eat honey anymore is the case. You can see clearly that this holy prophet is not even a like little. You just apply like if I was 19 years old, I could tell you if I wasn't a Shia reading this. If I'd understood what really happened here in this in detail, 19 years old, I could tell you that the Prophet When a friend, you know, let's say snaps at me, right, and accuses me of being jealous and all this, what would I do? I would not answer her back. I just walk away. That's it. That much mind you people don't, the Shias don't have. That the Prophet should have just walked away and said, I will stay away from you people, both of you wives, because your behavior is obnoxious to me. That's all he had to do. Anyways, see, let's see more. uh, I really now I think I don't have the heart to see more of this. The deception of our religious scholars because of imams. I don't know what, because of what, how the Shias have lied and deceived us. But the first time if I read this and I find out that honey, even on like ill smelling herb tree, it does not smell bad. Like, would she put garlic in the honey, mix it with the garlic or something? I could think that way. Yeah, try to find an excuse for him. Like, what? How could the Shias give us Hussein, such a sacrifice, grand sacrifice, and Imam Ali's Najul Balagha, and the creation, how it was created, and how angels were created, and how ripped apart this, and how from the smoke came what, and the dotless paragraph, or what do you call it, in Najul Balagha, sermon of Ali ibn Abu Talib. This is so plain to see here that I am so shocked at the sheer uh, justice not done to the wives. I mean, you what? So it's failed here. It's failed. Just anyways. So I don't have the heart to. I'll just take a break and maybe come back. So thank you if you are sincerely here, or you're here, whatever is your intention. Okay. But my intention is to show you that I cannot, when this fails here in the Quran, what Imam is going to pass, right, with me. Thank you so much.